Hello, warm welcome again. Glad you could be with us on a Thursday night, your sporting date, sporting chat for the best part of an hour here on Sheffield Live TV and talking Sheffield. We're going to be talking football tonight, but with a difference. As I've said before on this programme, we all know who the most successful football team in Sheffield is. No, it's not Blades, it's not Owls, it's actually Sheffield FC Ladies, the highest ranked team in the city, because they are in the Women's Super League, League 2 of the FA Women's Super League, but nonetheless, they are in the Super League. I'm really delighted, after a long chase, and it has been, to welcome the captain of Sheffield FC Ladies, Carla Ward, to the studio this evening. Evening, Carla. And our old friend, Chris Holt from Sheffield Star and Telegraph. I did say the good, the bad and the ugly on Twitter just now, and people are having to decide.
People decide that, yeah.
Yeah, who's which. But I think we know which one of those that Carla is. And it's been a fantastic success story. And you've been involved in a good deal of it, haven't you? I mean, how many promotions? You've only formed in 2003, 6 league titles in 8 seasons. You've been there for a lot of this.
Yeah, I've been there 7 years now. Well, this is now my 7th season. I think we've had 4 promotions in that time. So it's not too bad going, but no, it's been an unbelievable journey, to be fair. Yeah. When I originally came in, came in on loan actually from a Super League club. Straight away, I said, you know, the gaffer at the time, Helen Mitchell, she was absolutely brilliant. Straight away, sort of made her intentions quite clear where the club wanted to go, how they wanted to get there, and to be honest with you, I kind of fell in love with the story a little bit. As everyone who knows me knows, I'm very Sheffield FC, and straight away I loved it. And instead of going back off my loan, I sat down with a gaffer and said, look, I want to stay. And since then, it's been sort of one way.
One unrelenting success story. Chris, you and I, and also Carla, are going to be talking about Wednesday and United. You've been north of the border to watch, or try to watch, Barry Bannon and Jordan Rhodes play for Scotland. They weren't involved much. But you go to Hillsborough regularly to watch the Owls, don't you? So we're going to embrace everybody on this chat. But just, first of all, on Sheffield FC Ladies, the crowds are very impressive. Now, 500 odd might not sound, to the likes of you and I, Chris, high, but actually I think that's twice what the men's team get down there at Coach and Horses.
Well, yeah, I mean, I come from a background of Irish League football, and there'd be teams in the top flight in Northern Ireland who would love to be getting 500 every week, you know, and it's great, and it's testament to the club and obviously to the girls and their success.
You've got all this history. You've had one season already in Super League, respectable season. How's this one started? 3 points from 3 games. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not been great, to be honest. I mean, last season everyone sort of said, you know, 5th, brilliant. You know, a fantastic debut season for us. I thought actually it was a poor season. We dropped stupid points. When you look at the fact we didn't drop points against the top 3 that finished, it was disappointing to drop the points we did. A lot of that was due to the fact that the manager came in. Obviously, we then kicked off the season without a manager. That had to be changed. Obviously, Zoe stepped up. So it actually wasn't as good as it looked to the public eye. I think we had a lot of higher expectations within ourselves. So for me, it was disappointing, which makes the start we've had actually a little bit more disappointing, because we figured we could have kicked on from last season. Won the opener against Millwall, and that was a tough game. They're always like the men, you know. It's always a hard graft against them. But then to drop points against Durham and then Everton was disappointing, because I know I mentioned it to you before. Everton are a good side and could be up there this year. Equally, they weren't great on the day, so I think it's a missed opportunity.
I think there've been some angry words flying around, you know, behind the scenes over this start of the season, from what I can gauge or suspect.
Yeah, I think we've got an experienced bunch. We've got players that have played at the top level, players in the international setup. So there are high expectations, and I think when you've got that and you don't start too well, there's going to be maybe a little bit of not unrest, so to speak, but you know, you've got players that want to achieve and those players that want to succeed, and if it's not happening, then there's Are
you one of the vocal ones if it's not happening?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you're captain, very experienced.
Yeah. I've always been one to. I don't mix my words. I'm very upfront and very honest. And to be honest with you, if things aren't going the way maybe they should be or the way we would expect from each other. If standards aren't there, then yeah, I definitely don't hold back.
I was thinking 3 points from 3 games wasn't a bad start, but you've just put it into a different context. It's nice to hear the honesty as well, Chris, isn't it? You know, we hear so much rubbish, don't we?
We don't hear what people really think often enough. So it is refreshing to hear that.
We don't get paid enough money to, you know, to be fined enough, to be honest. To be honest, in the men's game, you know, if they came on a show and they spoke out of turn, and they know that they're going to be in the manager's office in the morning, probably with it being a bit hit with a fine. It's a bit different in the women's game. We can sort of have a little bit of freedom of speech, I would say.
Great, so you can say what you think, really think.
Absolutely.
In this show.
Absolutely.
Zoe Johnston's your manager.
Yeah.
She can be a tough taskmaster, can't she?
Yeah.
She's appeared on this show. I thought that she probably was.
Yeah, no, she's a taskmaster. She likes to get the best out of people, for sure. She's one that she will come down on you if need be. Again, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that, you know, she does set very high standards, and we've obviously had words in the past, but I think that's probably a good thing because there's that mutual ground where we have that relationship where we can sort of say what's needed, so to speak.
So you can be very direct with the manager.
Yeah, but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a manager that I've always got on with in terms of I can say we can have that. There's no beating around the bush, so to speak. Yeah. With this one.
Yeah, and by the way, you're in your tracksuit because you're going training tonight. We mustn't make you late for training. By the way, you'll be with us into the second half of the programme anyway. But you must be on time. You must be on time for that training. You're the second person from the Isle of Wight that we've had in this studio in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Lucky.
Because the Sheffield United goalkeeper Simon Moore was born and grew up there, plays for the Isle of Wight. Do you ever come across him?
No, I left there from quite a young age,
Right.
but yeah, no, I wasn't aware, to be honest. There's not many people.
Do they have a women's team?
They do. It's sort of like as you would have a regional representative team. I think they have a regional representative team, and they play sort of Jersey, Guernsey, teams like that.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it now. I left it at quite a young age.
Okay, well, look more at your career later. You were estimating before the programme that you might have played close to 1,000 games. Congratulations, you've just completed 200 appearances for Sheffield FC ladies. Previously, you were with Newquay, Bristol Rovers, with Leeds United, Doncaster Bells as well, and Lincoln. So you've really been around the block.
Across the water, yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you've travelled a bit in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything? You went to Hibernian's Ground, Easter Road last night to see Scotland play Canada 1-1.
I learned it was very cold. Which I shouldn't have had to have been told it was going to be cold in Scotland. Yeah, I didn't learn an awful lot. Jordan Rhodes came on and got about half an hour. Barry Bannon came on at half time, and Barry Bannon actually played quite well. It was interesting to see Bannon. He had a bit more of a spark about him. I don't know whether or not it was just the sort of, I wouldn't say the shackles have been taken off, but maybe just sort of the pressure off of you know, the playoffs, and he's playing in a friendly, and you know, maybe the level of opposition wasn't up to the level that he's been used to playing against. So he just seemed to have
different role or similar.
He was playing a little bit more. A bit further up the pitch than perhaps at Wednesday, and he was getting himself into a few goal-scoring positions as well. And
Jordan Rhodes came close-ish a couple of times.
Yeah, he had a couple of half chances. He had one really late on, where he just couldn't quite get his foot around it, and it was at a poor angle. Really, to be fair, it was a difficult chance. It would certainly, you wouldn't like to criticise him too much for it, and it was a terrible pitch as well. The conditions weren't great.
I congratulate you for manfully trying to get something out of Gordon Strachan at the end of the game as well, which is not the easiest task.
That wasn't easy, no.
No. Your pitch, you'd expect a pitch, Scottish Premier League at Hibernian, to be decent nick, even at this time of year. I mean, it goes without saying that the further down in the game you go, your pitch at the Coach and Horses, it's never going to be perfect, is it, at that level?
No, and I know I mentioned to you before, there's certain things that, you know, we often do, so to speak, get in trouble for talking about, and that's one of them. It is a tough.
Oh,
it is
right.
no. It's a tough one because we actually, as a group of girls, we want to play at home because the crowd are brilliant. They always are, and our fans are absolutely brilliant. But equally, when we go away from home, we usually get to play the way we want to play because we're a team that likes to get the ball down and play. It is difficult on our pitch because there's an awful lot of games on it. So, yeah, it's difficult, but equally, I think obviously we're looking to move soon, aren't we? So
there is a plan. There is a plan afoot. I mean, it involves all sorts of things and heritage and bringing the club back into the city as well.
And that would be brilliant.
So I know that you're involved in development of young talent as well, which is so important because just getting there is one thing. Staying there is another at that level, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that in part two? Owls and Blades, you go to Hillsborough regularly. I'd be very, very interested in, and not that it just so coincides that you like to go to both grounds, but you've been there more often.
Yeah, I think when I moved to Sheffield, I'm a massive football fan. I'll watch anybody out, Hallam
That word.
FC.
Did you hear that word there?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. I'll watch I'll go and watch obviously our lads play, Sheffield FC men. I've been to watch Hallam, I'll watch Sheffield United, watch Sheffield Wednesday. But then equally, I've started watching a lot more Wednesday, probably because Sheffield Wednesday run the education for our scholarship programme. So we've got a lot of links with them, and I started obviously watching them a little bit more, living in Hillsborough as well. But yeah,
What do you think?
I love to go there and sing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's recent weeks hasn't been ideal, has it? But I do enjoy being down at Hillsborough, I must admit.
Sheffield Wednesday fans are in a bit of confusion at the moment over what to think, aren't they? They're either way up there or they're way down there, and there's never something in between, and it almost goes from game to game. What the reaction is.
Yeah.
This international break, there's always chat about has it come at the right time or not? I suspect this one has.
This one definitely has, I think, for Wednesday. I mean, if nothing else, there are a few bumps and bruises around the team that need to be fixed. Obviously, a few quite serious injuries that they're hoping to get players back into after the international break. But as well as that, I think there needed to be a bit of stock taking, really, just a bit of, get everybody together and go through things tactically and mentally probably as well, and just have a chat about things that may not be going right and what they can fix and stuff like that. So you're right, it has been a really good time for them because there are only a couple of players who aren't there now. Two of them are, well, at least two of them, but certainly Bannon and Rhodes are key players. So you would obviously prefer them to be around in the training ground, and I said in the paper today that as much as it was good for Jordan Rhodes to be out and get international recognition, they haven't quite found the best way of getting the best out of him. No. And if they'd have had that 2 weeks on the training ground to work on that, I think that would have been a really big bonus for them to have.
But it has created a window to try to get Forestieri fit and Hutchinson.
Yeah,
fit,
I think that's been the most important thing. They've got potentially Gary Hooper coming back as well, and
I'll believe that when I see
Sam Hutchinson. Well, yeah, the Gary Hooper one has dragged on a little bit. Unfortunately, I would expect to see him pretty soon, if not the first game back, which is against Barnsley. They've got Rotherham straight after that, so I would think he'll be back for one of those at least.
What do you make of the sporadic calls for a change of manager, which you often get?
Yeah.
It's the knee-jerk frustration. But there were quite a number of people on social media, ringing phone-ins and extra, saying Carlos out. Now, by and large, he's been an extremely popular figure. I tried to address that in my column this week. I sincerely believe it's a fractional minority.
Oh, it is. It's very much a minority, and we've said before, and when we're talking at games, dissenting voices tend to be a little bit louder. There are a lot of people who are very happy with the way things are in terms of the management, and they're not. When you're happy with something, you don't tend to
to say anything.
It's you're just happy, you just let it go, carry on.
The form at the moment is not good enough.
No,
that's
not.
a fact.
There's no getting away from it.
And the frustration and criticism is understandable, but to take that giant leap,
Yeah.
if it was going to happen, it would have to have happened in this week of the international
I would have
break.
thought it would have happened.
Yeah.
It would have happened last week. I would have thought
Yeah,
straight
so
out.
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not
And
going to
quite
happen,
right.
and it shouldn't do. And it's people being caught up in the modern game. Really, people are seeing that this is how other teams are doing it, so that must be how it works. When it's actually quite refreshing to have a chairman who's not making knee-jerk reactions like that.
He's going to have 2 full seasons, and judgment is fair then.
Well, yeah, I mean,
if 2 full seasons,
if at the end of this season they didn't make the playoffs, then you can ask questions.
Yeah.
If they get into the playoffs and are narrowly edged out, again, possibly ask questions, but you would maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, because they've at least levelled. They've done what they did last season.
Where are you on this? Have you got a view?
I don't
Carla?
think you can get rid of him too quickly. Like you said, it's quite refreshing actually having someone to back him, to be honest, because it's quite easy nowadays just to sort of make that change just to sort of get what you want in the short term. But if you look at what he's done since he's come in, I think it'd be nuts to try and get rid of him now. I think fine, see if they get fine. If they miss the playoffs, don't get me wrong, I think that they probably will make a change. But I think give him that opportunity to get there. I mean, he's brought in obviously a few new players. Maybe they try, he needs to give him time to gel.
Some of the signings haven't worked, let's be fair, from last summer. That is a criticism you can level. That's not to say they won't work in the future.
Yeah.
But
I can't understand the Callum McManaman one, because for me, I think he's a flair player. I think he's outstanding.
I agree. Yeah.
I would be starting him week in, week out. I can't understand what it is there he doesn't quite like.
I agree with you. Although I also thought that Will Buckley had an impact in the game against Reading. He was as dangerous a player as Wednesday out on the field.
The thing about McManaman is it's clear that Carlos sees him as an impact player, which I think it does McManaman a disservice. Really, there's a lot more to him than that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can understand why. Because there have been so many tight games this year, I can understand why Carlos wants to have that player who can turn games late on if things are tight. But I would much rather have a game turned in the early part of the match and get it won.
Yeah, well, I think there's a great case for starting him. Really do. I'm a bit puzzled he's not. Part 2, by the way, Blades fans, will be far more for you. We've got the Owls out of the way in this part. They're not even playing this weekend, whereas United are at Oldham on Saturday, and then they've got a big home game, which possibly could even be a promotion clincher mathematically on the Tuesday against Millwall.
Possibly can. I think there are a lot of permutations there.
Yeah, I'm glad you've said that, because I'm not sure either. I'm just. I'll also raise it now. Chris has long been promising to do a follow-up article on attendances in Sheffield football and a comparison piece. I'm so looking forward to this, because he did one maybe in his first few weeks in Sheffield, comparing the Owls and the Blades attendances, and it's a fair thing to say that you had a reaction to the article.
Yeah. It didn't go down well with either. I must admit, I wasn't comparing. I was basically saying that I don't think that either set of fans should mock the other for attendances, because going to football's expensive.
I've jotted down some figures. Sheffield Wednesday average, as we speak, 26,533, which is terrific. 6th in the Championship for attendances, because there's a massive clubs. I use that word as well there. Newcastle being at the top in that section. Sheffield United top League One, an average of 21,079. These figures are terrific. They reflect well on both clubs and both sets of supporters.
Yeah, I mean, you've got...
Why be sensitive about it?
Yeah, you've got close to 50,000 people in the city watching football every other week. It's incredible.
Credit to both. There you are. We're safe.
Yeah, credit to both. Yeah,
we're safe. More on Sheffield FC ladies. More on the Blades specifically. James Gregg will round up everything else. That could include ice hockey, could include rugby league, and that will be in about 5 minutes' time after the break. I do hope you enjoyed the first half, and do rejoin us then. See you in a bit. See you. Yeah, enjoy.